Hey, what's going on, good people? Welcome to Russ Can't Fly. Whoop, there it is. All right, so I know I might be dating myself with that one, but I really don't care because, you know, hey, I am just thankful that the good Lord has smiled on me, that I get to be on this earth all these years. Could have been a lot different, tell you. But at any rate, rather than get into any of that, I want to give a special subscriber shout out to my survivor sister, Sabrina Thompson Mitchell. Hey sis, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Now, I want to say not only is my sister Sabrina my survivor sister, and you can see here that, you know, she was on Survivor, I think it was One World or Worlds Apart. I think One World. And you know, here's a couple pictures of her and stuff. But she is also, more importantly, the founder of the Ween Academy. The Ween Academy stands for Women in Entertainment Empowerment Network. And like I said, my sister Sabrina is one of the founders. Now, along with Christy Henderson, Lauren Lake, and Valicia Butterfield Jones, Sabrina is one of the prestigious founders of the Ween Academy. And I gotta tell you, I am definitely in awe of what these women have been able to accomplish. Now, here's what's really impressive. Through its signature programming and initiatives, Ween has impacted the lives of over 80,000 young women worldwide. So since Sister Sabrina showed a brother some love on this crazy journey, on this crazy little YouTube channel by subscribing, and that act alone means a lot to me, I thought that I would definitely pay homage to the Ween Academy and what these sisters are trying to do for women across the globe. So thank you, Sister Sabrina, for subscribing to my channel. If you want to have more information about the Ween Academy, Google W-E-E-N, Ween Academy. So if you have a young lady that's interested in those types of fields, arts or entertainment, definitely get them involved in this organization. It is fantastic. All right, so with that, I'm going to get on out of here, handle my business. Hopefully it's not too windy because it feels a little kind of iffy. So anyway, brother's gonna try to handle his business. All right, let's get out of here. Hip hip. All right, Quebec Shear. Like an old girlfriend. Wings traffic, Cessna 901 Quebec Sierra, taxiing from the upper ramp for runway 24 wings. Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. This is about to be a wild ride. I'm gonna tell you right now, this is not me over exaggerating, and yes, I do have a flair for the dramatic. I love a good story, but I'm gonna tell you right now, this is not me exaggerating at all. This flight was the most scared I have ever been in an airplane in my 50+ years on this earth. I gotta tell you, it looks so innocent. You think everything is all good. This was a scary, scary flight. Remember when I talked about setting personal minimums? And I'll actually put that other video up here just in case you haven't seen that. Well, this flight represents a flight where I was flying beyond my personal minimums. But much to my CFI's credit, he wanted me to see what it was like to fly in gusty, windy conditions that were shifty. We ended up experiencing a wind shear. It was terrifying. So you will hear that at some points the gusts were like 30 knots or something like that. Crazy. I'm telling you, hold on to your hats. This is nuts.
Somerset, what's the winds down there?
And TBM inbound to Somerset, you got about 20 knots of wind out of the northwest right down runway 20. Really bumpy though.
Alrighty. We'll
We
be
go
coming
until
in
you feel
30.
comfortable, alright?
Okay.
If that's one, right?
Right.
Don't need to push any harder than
Yeah, no, it's a feel thing. I know my limitations.
I don't want to be on the controls at all, alright?
Right.
So like even if it's one and you can't get down, right? Go around. Try again. Go
Right.
around, try again.
Yep.
Until you say like I physically cannot do this, right?
Right.
Then I will do it, right?
Gotcha.
But I want me hands off the entire time. Okay?
Traffic
Gotcha.
742 Delta Sierra on final 424 wing.
Wing traffic, Cessna 901 Quebec Sierra, departing runway 24, staying in the pattern, wings. Alright. Flaps up, fuel on both, trim set for takeoff, mixture is full rich, carb heat off.
Traffic 6 Yankee, left downwind 24, number 2 wings.
Robinson traffic, White Archer is on right, crosswind for 29, Robinson.
Alright, 2424, full power. I'm just gonna leave it. Alright, engine instruments in the green, oil temp, oil pressure, airspeed is alive, and rotate. Call this the calm before the storm. Now, as you can see, I'm kind of struggling to just even keep the plane, you know, flying over the runway. It was gusty. But the thing that really tripped out is the camera with the sound decided, it's like, yo, homie, I'm out. I'm not doing this flight. So it cuts off. But I just want you to hear some of the wind noises and things as I'm trying to land. Let's get to that because that is bananas. Okay, I'm gonna come in for this landing attempt and I just want you to watch and listen. Watch how much movement the plane has and how much wind there is. Check this out. Just watch and listen. So if you were paying attention, those thumps were the plane hitting the ground. So the plane got into this thing where it was porpoising, or basically hitting the runway, coming back up, hitting the runway, coming back up. That is extremely dangerous because eventually what can happen is the nose could go too low and you get something called a prop strike. And so by the third bounce, I basically bailed and decided to do a go around. Now, this was the first lap in the pattern and I'm already exhausted. And you can see I'm still fighting these controls. And I'm like, at this point, I'm like, yeah, this sucks. Like, this would not be a good, I mean, I can't imagine flying for hours like this. All right, let's go back to the next landing and you will see, hopefully the cameras will catch how much this plane drops out of the sky. The reason for that, wind shear. Okay, so I'm back on final. Just watch. I'm not gonna narrate because I don't want you to be distracted by my voice. Just watch this whole sequence of events. Crazy. I gotta tell you, I was never so happy to be on the ground in my life. And I don't know if you caught that. So there was this point where literally the wind severely switched direction and it felt like the plane was almost going to flip over. And so I had to put in like this serious aileron, like almost full aileron deflection into the wind. It was crazy. But of course, you know, I mean, this was such a challenging thing. I was sweating bullets at this point. But I actually suggested that we do another lap. And, you know, I just thought to myself, this is an amazing opportunity to learn what it is to fly in less than optimal conditions. I mean, literally the winds were blowing and gusting and switching, and it was absolutely crazy. So, yeah, so let's do another lap and then we'll finish this up. So you may be saying, well, Russ, if it was so scary, why are you doing it again? I mean, you landed, you're back on the ground, you're safe. Well, that's true. But it just goes to show you the confidence I had in my CFI, number one, and number two, I couldn't pass up an opportunity to really learn how to control the plane in very adverse conditions. Again, what that would do is it would help me understand what my personal minimum should be and why. This is not a day that I would fly by myself or with passengers. I just would not. I don't care how I had to get there or what the issue was. This would be one of those things where if I plan to fly this particular day, I would say it's a no-go. We either got to fly commercially or get in a car and drive or take the train or something. But that was the whole point, to understand the why. And I got to understand it in spades. So let's go through this last pattern and we'll be done. I was literally getting blown off the runway. I mean, literally. And the plane dropped like a rock. I mean, it was just weird. So I just like go around. So that was my first attempt at my second landing. That's just goes to show you how crazy this was. All right, let's go right to the last attempt. I get the plane on the ground. But yeah, this was crazy. felt good. Woo, Lord have mercy. And I gotta tell you, after I did that second landing, so I only landed 2 times, I was completely drenched in sweat. I mean, I felt like I had run a marathon, done an MMA fight, done yard work, and climbed Mount Everest. I mean, I was mentally and physically exhausted. I mean, it was just so crazy. So that's why, when people talk about personal minimums and what kind of wind gusts you're willing to fly in, you really have to be dialed in, because if not, you could find yourself in a world of hurt. You get up there and the winds are gusting, or there's wind shear, which is basically the winds are extremely variable and very unpredictable. You could be in for a world of hurt. So that's pretty much it. This was the most challenging flight I've had. I definitely applaud my CFI for allowing me to feel what it's like in these types of challenging conditions, because there's just no way I'm gonna touch anything like this ever again. It's almost like the kid touching the hot stove and finding out that it's hot. So what is it they say, hard head makes soft behind? Yeah, there you go. All right, we're done. Let's go. Okay, I had to sit down for this one. That flight, yo, wait, just hold up, just time out. I gotta confess. Now, I've flown probably about 85 hours at this point. And I definitely feel like I am getting prepared to do my check ride. But I gotta tell you, if I had had a flight like that when I was first starting this journey, there would be no Russ Can Fly. That would have been a wrap. I would have basically kissed the ground, told aviation, fly aviation wings or whatever, y'all can kiss. I'm I'm out. That's just crazy. I'm telling you, that was the most scared I've ever been. I was absolutely frightened. That's the bad news. I was definitely flying scared. The good news is, even though those winds were gusting 25, 30, I mean, that was just crazy, I was able to get the plane on the ground. Yeah, you saw that one go around when we were porpoising, and that was definitely a lot scarier than I thought it would ever be. But I knew to go around, number one, and number two, once we did come back, I was able to get that plane on the ground. And I actually volunteered to go back up and do it again so that I could, try to land again. So the bottom line is, I definitely feel comfortable that if I find myself in a very precarious situation, I can get that plane on the ground. It's not going to be pretty, but I can get on the ground and walk away. Because the plane is going to go on the ground. That is not, there's no question about that. The question is, will the brother be able to walk away from it? That's the point. Whoo, Lord have mercy. Thank you, Jesus. So, I thank you for all the people who've been praying, because that was off the chain, for real. So anyway, enough. I'm going to go in here and lay down, because I need a nap. And that's all about all I got. Holy smokes. Anyway, thank you for joining me on this journey. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. And I thank you for just showing me love, commenting, all that good stuff. It really means a lot to me. All right, Russ Can Fly. I'm out. See ya. Time for a daggone nap.